The world was dark, heavy, and full of ringing sounds. Lieutenant Ethan Cole slowly opened his eyes. His head hurt. His vision swam. Metal walls were bent and burning. Lights flickered weakly above him. The crash had been worse than he thought. The UHS Venture, his scout ship, had gone down hard on this alien jungle world called Virelia. Smoke filled the air, and sparks danced from broken panels. He tried to move, but something heavy was pressing down on his chest. His lungs struggled for air. When his eyes focused, he froze. A tall, armored figure was sitting on his chest. At first, he thought it was some kind of nightmare, but then the figure spoke in a calm, deep, and distinctly feminine voice. "Human, you are alive. Your heartbeat has returned." Ethan blinked in confusion. The being was clearly not human. Her skin shimmered faintly silver blue, and her armor glowed with bright runes. She had four-fingered hands and sharp eyes that reflected the dim light like polished glass. She was an alien soldier, clearly trained and serious. Who are you?" Ethan coughed, trying to push himself up. "I am Commander Siren of the Virelian Guard," she said firmly. "You are the survivor of the sky vessel that crashed near my patrol grounds. I used the emergency revival method to restart your heart." Ethan blinked again, trying to understand. "You sat on me. To wake me up?" Siren tilted her head. "Yes. Pressure on the thorax stimulates both hearts in my kind. It restores rhythm. You have only one, yes?" "Yeah, just one," Ethan muttered, still shocked. He finally managed to sit up a little. Siren stood, her tall frame moving gracefully. She must have been nearly 7 feet tall. The moment she stepped back, Ethan could breathe properly again. Then something strange happened. The glowing runes on her armor began to pulse slowly, and a faint shimmer of light crossed her skin. Her pupils widened and her breathing changed. For a second she looked confused, touching her chest plate as if she felt something unusual inside her. Ethan noticed and asked carefully, "You okay?" Siren frowned. "Strange. My body reacts oddly. When I revived you, your heart beat fast against my sensors. The pattern, it triggered. A resonance." "A resonance?" "In my species," she said slowly. "It means a compatibility signal." Ethan raised both hands. "Hey, I didn't mean to send any signals." She gave a small huff of air, a sound halfway between amusement and confusion. "You humans are strange. No one chooses resonance. It happens naturally. Perhaps it is a false reading." Ethan didn't know what to say. The situation was already bizarre enough. He looked around at the broken wreckage of his ship. The hull was half buried in alien mud, vines creeping over twisted metal. Above the treetops, the sky glowed faint purple. The jungle of Virelia was alive. Distant sounds of creatures echoed in every direction. "Do you have a camp nearby?" Ethan asked, trying to shift the topic. "Yes," Siren said. "My squad was scanning for crash debris, but communication has been lost. The jungle interferes with signals." Ethan grabbed a small device from his belt, a portable beacon. The casing was cracked, but maybe he could fix it. "If I can repair this, we can contact your team or maybe call for my ship's rescue craft." She watched him curiously. "You are injured. You should rest. Rest later. Survive now," he said simply, opening a panel on the beacon. Siren tilted her head again. Her kind found human directness unusual, even admirable. She stood silently for a few moments, then looked toward the dark tree line. Her expression shifted. Her eyes narrowed. "Something moves," she said quietly. Ethan froze. "Where?" She pointed. The jungle rustled, branches breaking. A deep growling sound rolled through the air like an engine mixed with thunder. "Stay back," Siren ordered, activating her plasma lance. The weapon glowed blue-white as she took a battle stance. Ethan crouched behind a fallen beam, peering into the darkness. The sound grew louder, metal scraping, mechanical breathing. A shape appeared, massive and armored, walking on 4 clawed limbs. Its eyes burned red. "What is that thing?" Ethan whispered. "A Ravager-class predator native to Virelia," Siren said grimly. "Fast. Intelligent. It hunts by sound and heat." Ethan's hand went to his sidearm, a small pulse pistol. Not much use against something that big, but it was better than nothing. The beast stepped into the wreckage clearing. It was half metal, half flesh, cybernetic, likely enhanced by the planet's strange evolution. Tubes pumped glowing liquid through its body. The moment it saw movement, it roared and charged. Siren met it head-on, moving like lightning. Her plasma lance struck its chest, sparks flying. The creature slammed a claw down, but she rolled aside, slicing through its forelimb. Ethan fired his pistol, hitting the exposed circuits on its shoulder. The creature screamed and swung wildly, smashing into debris. "Now!" Sarin shouted. Ethan understood instantly. He dove toward a broken power cell lying nearby, ripped out the safety coil and threw it under the beast's belly. The cell exploded in a burst of blue energy, throwing the creature backward into the trees. The ground shook. Then silence. Ethan coughed, trying to wave away the smoke. "You okay?" Sarin straightened, armor scorched but unbroken. "I am unharmed." "You acted without hesitation. You humans truly are." Bold, he grinned weakly. "We do what we can." Then, suddenly, Sarin staggered slightly, clutching her chest again. Her armor's glow intensified for a moment before fading. Ethan stepped closer, concerned. "Hey, are you hurt?" "I can." She raised a hand. "No, it is not injury, it is—" The resonance again. "It grows stronger when you are near." Ethan blinked. "That's not good, right?" "I do not know," she admitted. "But my instincts tell me to protect you." He chuckled nervously. "Well, I'm not arguing with protection." Her eyes softened, an expression that almost seemed human. "Do not mistake this for choice, human. It is instinct. But still, I feel something I cannot explain." Before Ethan could reply, his beacon beeped weakly. The screen flickered, partial signal. He managed to stabilize it, connecting to short-range frequencies. Static crackled, then a voice spoke in alien tongue. Sarin's expression turned sharp. "It is my command unit," she said. "They search for me. They have detected an energy surge here." Ethan smiled. "Then let's tell them to bring a pickup." She didn't move. Her voice grew quieter. "Ethan Cole, my kind may not understand what has happened between us. The resonance, if they detect it, they may see you as a potential mate or a danger." Ethan blinked twice. "A mate? Wait, what? I just woke up." Her gaze didn't waver. "We must be careful. They will not harm you while I live. I swear it." Ethan sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Okay. Crashed ship, alien jungle, glowing soldier with instincts she doesn't understand. Yeah, just another normal Tuesday." Sarin almost smiled. "You humans make humor in strange moments. It is admirable." The sound of engines echoed from above, distant but approaching. Sarin looked up, her expression caught between relief and unease. "Rescue is coming," she said. "But our story may only be beginning." Ethan looked up at the purple sky, the vines glowing softly in the breeze. He had no idea what kind of world he had fallen into, or what kind of bond had just been formed. But one thing was certain. He wasn't alone anymore, and that thought made him smile. The Varelian sun rose slowly over the dense jungle, painting everything in a soft golden glow. The air shimmered with moisture, and the cries of alien birds echoed far and wide. Ethan Cole sat on a rock, adjusting his broken communicator for the 100th time. The beacon he'd fixed last night had managed to send a faint pulse, but no one had responded yet. Commander Sarin stood nearby, scanning the area with her weapon ready. Her glowing armor looked less bright this morning. The strange energy that pulsed in her veins whenever she looked at Ethan seemed to have calmed slightly, but not completely. Every time he spoke, her heart sensors flickered again. Ethan sighed, closing the device. Still no connection. Either the signal can't reach orbit or something's jamming it. Sarin nodded slowly. "Varelia's jungles are alive with metallic spores. They interfere with most transmissions. We must find higher ground." He looked around. "That means climbing those cliffs?" "Yes," she said. "But first we must cross the lowlands. That area is home to the iron beasts." "Sounds friendly," Ethan muttered. Sarin gave him a short look. "They are not. Keep your weapon close." They started walking through the thick vegetation. Massive leaves brushed against them as glowing insects darted between branches. The air smelled faintly of ozone and oil, a strange mix of organic and mechanical. Ethan noticed how even the plants here seemed partly artificial, their roots shining faintly with metal lines. "This planet's alive," he murmured. "Varelia is a world where biology and technology evolve together," Sarin explained. "We call it the symbiotic forge. Machines grow as trees do. Metal breathes here." Ethan nodded, fascinated. "And your people live with all this?" "For centuries," she said proudly. "We learned harmony with it. But it also makes survival difficult. Every creature can adapt, rebuild, or evolve quickly." As they walked, Ethan studied her armor. "You said last night that your people might see this. Resonance thing is a problem. Why? Sarin's steps slowed. Our bonds are sacred. They are not chosen. They happen through life-saving contact. Once formed, they are meant for our kind only. You are different. The elders might fear it means contamination of our genetics. Ethan gave a tired smile. So saving my life made me your scientific problem? She hesitated. And my personal one. They stopped near a stream of glowing blue water. Ethan knelt to collect some into a canister. Sarin watched him carefully, her body tense. The gentle hum of the jungle grew quiet for a moment. Then came a distant metallic roar. Ethan looked up sharply. Please tell me that was thunder. Sarin raised her weapon. It was not. Trees burst apart in the distance as something massive pushed through the jungle. Dust and leaves filled the air. A second later, a giant mechanical shape appeared. It was one of the Terran war drones that had been stored aboard Ethan's crashed ship. It had survived the crash, and now it was awake. Its sensors glowed red as it scanned the forest. The machine's voice was cold and mechanical. Unregistered life forms detected. Security breach. Eliminate threats. Ethan's face went pale. That's an old Earth military drone. But it's not supposed to be online. Then it has adapted to Virelia's systems, Sarin said grimly. It hunts. Without another word, the two ran into the jungle. The ground shook behind them as the drone's heavy feet crushed trees. Its pulse cannons fired, slicing through the air with sizzling beams. Explosions followed close behind. Keep moving, Sarin shouted, pulling Ethan to the side just as a plasma bolt hit a rock, sending shards flying. Ethan rolled, coughing. We can't outrun that thing forever. It's got scanners. It'll find us anywhere. Sarin crouched beside him, thinking quickly. Then we do not run. We fight, Ethan blinked. Fight a walking tank? She gave him a firm look. Do you have a better idea? He thought for a second, then his eyes lit up. Maybe I do. They found an open clearing with a cluster of metallic trees, roots like cables, bark shining like steel. Ethan looked around quickly. If I can link your armor's power core to those roots, we can create a charge surge, an electromagnetic trap. Sarin nodded immediately. Do it, I will draw its attention. Wait, alone? I am the warrior here, she said simply. And you are the mind. Before Ethan could protest, she leaped from the brush, her plasma lance blazing. She shouted in her native language, drawing the drone's sensors toward her. The machine turned, targeting her heat signature. Ethan hurried to set up the trap. He ripped open her spare energy cell and connected it to the metallic roots using wire from his broken beacon. Sparks danced as he fused the lines. He needed precise timing. One mistake could blow them both up. Meanwhile, Sarin moved like lightning, jumping from one tree to another, deflecting plasma shots with her shield. Every strike she made seemed to feed her armor's energy back into her body. But the drone was fast, too fast. A beam grazed her leg and she stumbled. Ethan saw it happen. Sarin! She tried to rise, but the drone was already charging its cannon again. Now or never, Ethan whispered, slamming the power conduit into place. The ground erupted in blue light. A surge of energy rushed through the metal roots and exploded upward in a shockwave. The drone convulsed, its circuits sparking wildly. For a second, its red eyes dimmed, and then its systems fried completely. The huge machine toppled over with a final groan, smoke rising from its broken limbs. Ethan rushed forward to help Sarin up. You okay? She winced but nodded. You did it. Your plan worked, he smiled. We make a good team. She looked at him silently for a moment. Her armor's runes glowed faintly again, soft, rhythmic. Your courage. It keeps strengthening the resonance. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck awkwardly. Well, sorry about that. It's not exactly something I can turn off. It is not something I wish to turn off, she admitted quietly. Then she quickly looked away, trying to hide her reaction. Ethan noticed but decided not to push the topic. He focused instead on salvaging parts from the fallen drone. If I can rewire its core, I might boost the beacon's power. We could finally reach your people or my rescue ship. As he worked, Sarin stood guard, watching him with calm focus. Her instincts told her to protect this human, not because of the resonance, but because he had earned it. His quick thinking had saved her life again. Hours passed. By sunset, Ethan had managed to stabilize the power system and attach it to his beacon. When he activated it, the signal flared bright and clear. He smiled in relief. Signal's live. Someone has to pick this up. Sarin's comm link suddenly beeped. Voices came through, her command unit at last. Commander Sarin, respond. We have your coordinates. Retrieval unit inbound. She exhaled slowly. They are coming. Ethan nodded, packing up his tools. Good, I'm ready to go home. But Sarin didn't move. Her eyes lowered slightly. Ethan, there is something you must know. When they arrive, they will scan us both. If they detect the resonance, they will question it. What's the problem with that? He asked. To them, a bond between our kinds is impossible. They may think you are dangerous or that I have been compromised. Ethan frowned. Then we just explain it was an accident. She looked at him sadly. To them, no bond is ever an accident. A distant rumble echoed overhead. The sound of engines filled the sky as Varelian ships began to descend through the clouds. Ethan felt the ground vibrate beneath his boots. Looks like your people are here. Sarin nodded, but her expression was unreadable. Yes. And soon your courage will be tested again. Not against machines, but against my kind's fear. Ethan gave her a steady look. Then we'll face it together. For the first time, she smiled without restraint. Together, she said softly. Above them, the first dropships broke through the canopy, lights shining like falling stars. The jungle glowed with the reflection of their descent. The war machine was destroyed. The beacon was alive. Rescue had come. But as Sarin's people approached, Ethan knew that survival on this alien world had been the easy part. The hard part was still to come. The Varelian dropships landed on the jungle clearing with quiet precision. Metal legs sank slightly into the soft, glowing soil as ramps extended, and armored soldiers filed out. Commander Sarin and Lieutenant Ethan Cole stepped forward, their figures framed by the giant alien ships. Sarin's armor gleamed under the twin suns of Varelia. Her glowing runes pulsed faintly, betraying the resonance that still flowed between her and Ethan. She was calm, disciplined, but inside, she felt a mixture of pride and worry. Ethan, on the other hand, looked every bit like a human trying to fit into an alien world, dusty, disheveled, and blinking under the strange lights. One of the soldiers approached, a tall figure with multiple eyes and smooth silver skin. He spoke quickly in Varelian, and Sarin translated. Commander Sarin, the Council demands your presence and the presence of the human who triggered the resonance. Ethan's eyes widened. Council like a court? Yes, Sarin said. But their judgment can decide much more than a human court ever could. They determine the future of our species and sometimes the future of others. Ethan swallowed. Well, I guess I'm in the deep end. The soldiers led them through a jungle path, the trees slowly giving way to the gleaming towers of the Varelian capital citadel. The city was a wonder of bioluminescent architecture, towers that glowed softly from within, bridges made of living metal and walkways that hummed with subtle energy. Vines of polished silver wound around the buildings like veins, pulsating faintly with life. At the entrance of the council hall, a guard bowed. You may enter, it said. Inside, the chamber was massive, circular, and illuminated by suspended crystal spheres. Around the room sat the council of matrons, 5 imposing female figures with tall frames and shimmering armor. Each had glowing patterns unique to their position, and their eyes were sharp, unyielding, and curious. Sarin bowed deeply. Honorable matrons, I present the human. Ethan Cole. He survived the crash and triggered a resonance reaction in my species. The council members' eyes turned toward Ethan. He straightened as much as he could, trying to appear confident. The tallest of the matrons leaned forward, her voice like wind over metal. You are human. You triggered a sacred bond meant only for Varelians. Explain yourself. Ethan took a deep breath. I didn't trigger anything on purpose. I crashed on your world and Commander Sarin saved my life. That's all I did. The matron's eyes narrowed. Yet your presence caused an instinct we cannot ignore. A resonance rare and profound, it is. Unprecedented. Sarin stepped forward, her voice steady. My lords, the resonance was indeed triggered. But it is not the human's fault. His courage, quick thinking, and resourcefulness saved lives, mine and perhaps others. That is the essence of his species. Humans act with intellect and bravery, not by instinct alone. Ethan blinked at her. You really just said that in front of them? Sarin ignored him, her attention fixed on the council. We have tested the human's character. He did not flee. He did not panic. He acted logically under extreme conditions. I submit that his species is worthy of observation, not fear. A second matron spoke, her voice calm but sharp. Observation is not enough. This resonance could have consequences. He may carry genetic influence incompatible with our kind. He may interfere with our sacred practices. Ethan raised a hand nervously. I'm just a human. I didn't come here to interfere. I barely know your world. The tallest matron studied him closely. Her gaze seemed to pierce right through him, examining not just his body but the essence of his character. After a long pause, she spoke again. Yet you acted as we would hope our own would in such circumstances. Your courage is not accidental. Your mind is sharp. Perhaps your presence is instructive. Ethan blinked. Instructive? To teach us the value of intellect and bravery outside our species, Sarin said. Humans survive where instinct alone may fail. They think, adapt, and overcome. A third matron leaned forward. Very well. If this human saved Virelia by intellect and bravery alone, let us test that assertion. Before Ethan could ask what she meant, alarms sounded throughout the chamber. The citadel shuddered slightly. Panels of glowing metal flickered. The sound of machinery malfunctioning echoed through the halls. Sarin's eyes widened. A sabotage. Someone is attempting to overload the citadel's power core. Ethan's pulse quickened. I can help. I've dealt with machines bigger than this. Then act, Sarin ordered. Without hesitation, Ethan sprinted through the corridors, following the map projected in his mind. Sparks flew from failing panels. The humming grew louder, the smell of ozone thick in the air. The power core, an enormous cylinder of bioluminescent energy, was on the verge of meltdown. He assessed the problem quickly. The core's regulator had been tampered with. Small devices, foreign to Virelian design, interfered with the energy flow. If he didn't act fast, the entire citadel could explode. Ethan worked efficiently, connecting circuits, rerouting energy, and bypassing the damaged components. Sweat ran down his face, but his hands moved confidently. Sarin followed closely behind, clearing debris and holding off automated defense drones that had activated from the malfunction. Minutes felt like hours. Then, with a final adjustment, Ethan rerouted the power successfully. The hum of the citadel slowed. Lights returned to normal. The energy core stabilized. Sarin exhaled, her armor's runes glowing softly. You have saved Virelia. Ethan leaned against a panel, catching his breath. Just using my brain. Didn't need magic or instincts this time. The council of matrons entered the core chamber, their expressions a mixture of awe and scrutiny. You have done the impossible, the tallest matron said. A human prevented a catastrophe that could have destroyed this city. Your courage, quick thinking, and understanding of technology saved countless lives. Ethan straightened. Thank you, another matron added. This proves what Commander Sarin has said. Your species is capable of intellect and bravery beyond expectation. You have earned our respect. Ethan glanced at Sarin. She gave a small nod. The resonance between them remained, but now it felt different, less urgent, more like mutual understanding and respect. The tallest matron approached Ethan. You are hereby granted honorary citizenship of Virelia. You will be observed, yes, but no harm will come to you. Your actions have proven the worth of humanity. Ethan laughed softly. Honorary citizenship. I never thought I'd get that from aliens. Sarin smirked. Your species does have a way of surprising others. The Council's approval had not just saved him, it had shown the full value of human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. Ethan realized that this was what made humans truly remarkable. They did not need superpowers or technology alone. They survived, learned, and thrived through determination and cleverness. As the ceremony ended, Sarin placed her hand over her chest plate. Her runes glowed faintly in a pattern that seemed to convey respect. You have taught us that bonds are more than instinct, they are earned. Courage and intellect are stronger than any chemical signal. Ethan smiled. And you've taught me that sometimes the universe wakes you up in very strange ways. Outside, the jungle glimmered in the evening light. The citadel stood intact. The glowing plants swayed gently, as if acknowledging the bravery of a human who had defied expectation. Sarin guided Ethan to a dropship. Your ship will be repaired. You may return home soon. Ethan looked back at the citadel one last time. I'll never forget this place, or what your people taught me. Sarin's voice was soft but firm, and I will never forget that humans can achieve what even the most advanced of my kind might doubt. As the dropship rose, Ethan looked out at the jungle below. He had survived the crash, fought machines, and earned the respect of an alien civilization. Most importantly, he had shown that humans, fragile, ordinary, and inventive, could rise to challenges no one expected. And that, he realized, was the true power of humanity. The jungle of Viralia stretched beneath him, alive, glowing, and full of possibilities. Ethan smiled, knowing that no matter where he went next, humans could always surprise the universe.